Hi, I'm Lola Aneke and I welcome you to Speak Dial on Finding Out with Special Needs. So it's still Better Speech and Hearing Month as declared by Asha, and today I'll be sharing with us a few tips for promoting the use of action words in children with communication disorders. In my previous videos, I talked about how children use words. They start by using nouns, by naming objects, that's nouns, and then they add action words which are verbs. So they could say, um, mommy cried, or mommy smiled, or baby dance. So there's noun and then the verb. And then the third way is that the third thing is that they add more words to their sentences, and then they make meaningful sentences with the words. So they use nouns, verbs, they join the noun and the verbs together, and then they add more words to make those two much more meaningful. Before I share the tips for promoting the use of action words in children with communication disorders, I'll be talking about the importance of communication disorders. Okay, I'll be talking about the importance of action words. Okay, now the first importance of action words, the action words are a part of the child's here and now experiences. So you cannot separate the child from the action words, because of course the child smiles, the child cries, the child eats, the child drinks. So it is important for us to teach the child on about action words. Okay, so one of the importance of action words is that it is a part of the child's here and now experiences. The second importance of teaching or action words to the children, or the importance of action word, is that action words can be demonstrated by the child and everyone in the child's environment, be it object or toys. So the child cries, the child laughs, the people around the child also demonstrate action words by dancing, clapping, drinking, eating. So the action words can be demonstrated by the child and those in the child's environment, be it human, object, or toys. The third importance of action words is that action words are useful in making meaningful sentences. So, like I said, the child could just say cookie, which is just a noun, but when the child says eat cookie, it makes the sentence much meaningful. Even if the sentence is short, the sentence is more meaningful by combining nouns and action words. Okay. Now, the fourth importance of action word is that it enables the child to interact with its or her environment. So the child is able to interact with people and things around this environment by using action words. It promotes communication. Now, the tips I'll be sharing with us are six, and the tips will help us to learn to promote the use of action words in children with communication disorders. The first tip is to talk about what the child is doing. So the child is eating, if the child is singing, if the child is dancing, always talk about what the child is doing with the child. Okay, once you catch a child doing those things, you are clapping. Wow, you're eating, good job. You are smiling, you are dancing. The second tip is to tell the child what you and other people are doing in the environment. Mama is reading, the man is dancing, Papa is washing. So it's always good to let them know what's happening in the environment by using those action words. The third tip is to play games with action words in them repeatedly. So you could play games like kicking. Once you're playing the games repeatedly, tell the child what you're doing. If you're clapping, you're playing clapping games, you can tell the child, I am clapping, or we are clapping. So when you play those games, make sure you tell the child what you're doing. Now, there's some words that we call common action words, and these words are common because the child experiences words almost every time. Such words are eat, sleep, drink, go, hug, kiss, sit, sleep. So whenever we're planning to teach children action words, let's not forget that some of these words that I've given an example are words that the children use more often. The action that the children use almost every time. So it's better for us to align our teaching of these words to the children by ensuring that these words are commonly used, and those are some of the examples that we could use almost immediately when we're teaching children with communication disorders action words. Okay. Now the fourth tip I am sharing with us is how the child experience many actions. So because the more they experience, it's more easier for them to use the words. So if the child were jumping now, help the child to experience jumping, lift the child up and throw the child up, or help the child experience clapping, help the child experience singing, help the child experience dancing, so that the child can use the word more often. They say experience is the best teacher. So when the child experiences it, the child is able to use the action words easily and by himself. The next tip is when the child says one word or name an object. So the child says something like juice, or the child says something like baby. These are nouns. Okay, it's always important for us to help the child to say those words better by adding action words. So if the child says juice, for example, you want to say drink juice, or the child says baby, you want to say hug baby, or the child says what other word can the child say? Mama is talking. Okay, so you help the child. When the child name the words by using nouns, you want to reinforce those words by helping the child to complete the statement by using action words. The last tip for promoting the use of action words with children that I will share with us today is when the child use words correctly, let the child know. So if the child says something like knock door, you say, oh yes, we knock on the door. Or the child says something like drink juice, you say absolutely, we drink juice. Eat cookies, yes, we eat cookies. That's very right. You want to reinforce or help the child know that he's using the words properly. He's using the action and the noun words properly. And when you do that to them, you are encouraging them to use more of the words. So these are the few tips I'll be sharing with us today. And like I always do, I'll recap. So I explained the importance of action words to us. I said to us that action words are part of the child here and now experience. Action words can be demonstrated by everyone in the child's environment, even by the child himself. So you cannot separate action words from the child. Action words makes our words much more meaningful. So for us to help to promote communication in children with communication disorders, we have to teach action words. Action words enable the child to interact with his environment, which is also the importance of communication, so that we can interact with our environment. Now, the tips I share with us in promoting the use of action words in children with communication disorders include talk about what the child is doing. That's the first tip I shared. The second tip is tell the child what you and others in the environment are doing. The third tip is plan games in which action words are used repeatedly, and then talk about the action words as you play the game. The fourth tip is help the child experience many action words. The fifth tip is when the child says one word, to name an object, expand the use of the word to include action if possible. And the sixth tip, which is the last tip, is that when the child uses words with action words correctly, let the child know by reinforcing the words. These are the few tips I'll be sharing with us today. Please try and use these tips and let me know your feedback in the comments section. And do not forget to look out for and sign up for my trainings that are coming up very soon. You see information about some of my trainings on the flyer on display right now. Do join me for this training and let's learn together to make the world a better place for children with communication disorder and other disabilities. Until I come your way next time, I remain yours sincerely, Lola Aneke. Bye-bye.